Fortnite has single-handedly turned a bunch of gamers into millionaires. So today I'm watching this video from AceFN that breaks down the 16 pro players that became millionaires and where they are today.
Throughout the 6 years Fortnite has been out, there's been 16 different players who have gone on to earn over $1 million from tournaments. And throughout this time, some have quit while some are still at the top and others have fallen off. So let's see exactly where the Fortnite millionaires are today.
This should be interesting because I feel like when people start to earn that kind of money, their motivation drops. Some other people get more motivated to continue growing and getting better. So we'll see how this breaks down.
The most recent player to earn over $1 million. He's known as one of the best players to never win an FNCS and is still on top dominating today. And that's Thomas HD. He got his big break early on, qualifying for the Duo World Cup Finals. However, he would only place 21st. Over his career, he's managed to get 7 top 3s in FNCS, getting so close to winning multiple times, but not quite getting there.
Last FNCS, he was only 1 point off
really good,
from
and with
getting
the
first.
Invitationals coming up, we'll have to see how he does. Next player on this list is the one with the most earnings, the one and only World Cup winner, Booga. He needs no introduction.
He's still grinding.
The main chunk of his earnings is the $3 million that he won from the World Cup.
Booga is a good example of someone who people thought was going to take it easy after winning $3 million, but he just kept grinding, and to this day, he's still streaming, grinding, and competing at the highest level.
Back-to-back FNCS champ. And since then, he's managed to get 3 more top 3 finishes in FNCS. Overall, making him the most earned player in Fortnite with over $3.6 million.
Jeez.
And he's still placing extremely well today. Let's continue the trend of World Cup winners becoming the second most earned player that actually just retired. And that would be Aqua.
Oh, yeah.
A big chunk of his earnings is obviously from the World Cup. But he's gone on to win the Trio Season X FNCS and Chapter 3 Season 2 Duo FNCS. However, since Aqua ended up getting tendinitis pretty early on in his career, he was unable to play
I remember
some
that.
seasons, which
he's not
led
the
to
only
poor
pro too
performances.
who had tendinitis. Like wrist problems and hand problems can easily make it to where like you just can't compete anymore.
But he still managed to earn almost $2.2 million. Let's continue with another OG player placing second at the World Cup, and that would be Sam. His career was pretty short compared to the rest of the players on this list, with him only playing up until Chapter 2 Season 1 squads.
Bro got second place and then
the
dipped.
Solo World Cup,
He was the oldest pro player at the World Cup.
Just that. And afterwards, he would go on to earn $70,000 from other tourneys. But now he's gone on to become a pro Valorant player for a little bit, and is currently not on a team.
Yeah, he was like a pro in 2 games before Fortnite. Bro's just trying to collect all the pro Infinity Stones.
A player who's still playing very well today and is actually the player with the most FNCS wins in the world. And that would be Epic Whale. He placed 3rd in the Solo World Cup, earning $1.2 million. And after, he would go on to dominate the NA West region, winning those 6 FNCS titles from there. On top of that, he also won the very first Gamers 8 tournament with Malibuca.
Yeah, that was pretty recent
he's
too.
Still doing pretty well, but not as good as he was doing on West.
And
West just didn't have the competition, and he was one, the best player on West, pretty much. So now he's going against the big dogs, and he's still doing well, but it's just not free wins like it was before.
For the 6th player on this list, we have someone that earned his million in probably the most interesting way.
Oh yeah, the Mr. Beast.
Nas.
The
He has been a
Mr.
pro
Beast
player in
Cup,
Fortnite
bro.
for a very long time and actually won the first Zero Build Gamers 8 tournament. And he's gone on to earn over 500k from tournaments. But there was just one tournament that would triple his earnings. And that would be the $1 million Mr. Beast Cup.
He was grinding for it though. He was playing it like 16 hours a day.
He was already an established pro, but most people don't really give him the credit he deserves. So with almost $1.6 million earned, he is currently the 5th highest player earned on Fortnite.
That's crazy.
The next player we have is the Polish goat, Kami. His most earnings from a single tournament would be his win in the most recent Zero Build Gamers 8 LAN, bringing home $280K.
There are some big money tournaments for Zero Build
official
at
Fortnite
Gamers
LAN
8
event since the World Cup, which was
oh, I remember this, bro. It came down to this one kill. That's
and
crazy.
Winning another FNCS back in Chapter 2 Season 8. And since then, he's gone on to get multiple top 5s in FNCS and has racked in almost $1.1 million.
You gotta think about it like this, by the way, with these earnings, right? A lot of these pros have been competing for 4 years. So if they have like $1 million earned, they've earned like $250,000 a year, which is still amazing. Plus on top of their streams and content and potential sponsorships and esports teams. So they're doing well, but these are just the top earners in Fortnite. A lot of Fortnite pros do not make enough for them to just live their life on only their Fortnite earnings.
Over his career, he's managed to win 5 FNCSs to this date. which is one of the most
That's
throughout
crazy.
the entire world. And on top of all that, it's on EU.
I think
Not to
Mero
mention
has him
he's
beat
also
now.
gotten
He
multiple
has
top
6.
3s in other FNCSs as well. But so far, he's managed to earn himself over $1.1 million. Let's bring it back into the World Cup era with the
I
last
think
winner
Tayson has the most earnings online if you don't count the Mr. Beast Cup.
we haven't talked about yet. Nyrox. Even though he isn't placing as well as he used to, he still managed to earn over $1.5 million.
Nice.
The next player on this list, we have the only player from one of the smaller regions, and that's the Argentinian player, King.
Oh, yeah,
he started
dude.
off making a name
He's
for
cracked,
himself by
man.
showing off his insane fighting skills during the Solo World Cup finals. And after getting 5th, he made himself 900 grand at just the age of 13. And it wouldn't stop
Did he
there.
did he just grab a mini from his fridge?
He's also gone on to grow his brand and become the face of the Brazil region, earning almost $1.2 million in the process. Continuing with players to earn over $1 million at an extremely young age, we have Wolfies. He used to be considered the best controller player.
Did he
and for a
get? He
good
got
reason.
third at
After
the,
being one of just a few controller players to
second at
qualify
the
for the
FNCS?
World Cup finals, he did what many thought were impossible and placed second, making $1.1 million at the age of 15. But now he has found a new passion in fitness and seems to be doing well.
I've seen
enjoying the almost $1.4 million.
I mean, honestly, if you make $1 million, you invest it properly, and you have other, revenue streams, like, you should be fine. You should be.
Is made from Fortnite. The next
don't need
player
to
on
keep
this list is
competing.
Wolfie's duo, Rojo. Obviously, he would earn most of his money from getting that second place in the World Cup, and afterwards, he really didn't have any outstanding performances. But overall, he's made $1.2 million. Another player who became a millionaire from just the World Cup by placing 4th in solos.
He actually just recently returned to the game,
been playing the game
and he's
for
trying
a
to
very
grind to
long
get back
time,
into it.
making a name for himself back in the skirmish days, with his most notable placement back then being a 3rd and a 2nd. And like some of the other players on this list, he never actually had a really good placement after the World Cup. And eventually, after losing passion for the game, he would retire early in this year. And throughout that time, he's made over $1.2 million. The next player coming up is going to be the last player on this
gets back into competitive or not.
list who is actually still playing the game, and that would be Cease. He's another player who has been playing the game for a very long time, with his most impressive placement till this day being his 3rd place finish in the Dual World Cup. And with that, he's managed to rack in almost $1.2 million. But today, he is still playing the game and is still making the FNCS Grand Finals. For our last 2 players on this list,
I mean, that alone is very impressive considering how competitive Fortnite has
them a
gone.
little bit, since most of their achievements are together, and that would be Zayt and Saf. Ever since the early days of the game, they've been on top, with their best performance back then being a win in the summer skirmish and a win at ESL Katowice. But their most earnings from a single tournament would be the Dual World Cup, where they would place 4th, winning
They should have placed first. If you watch the World Cup, they got so unlucky. They were in first place for most of it, and they got headshot sniped in like the last game, and it just cost them.
But afterwards, together, they would end up getting 4 top 5s in FNCS, with one of those being a win back in Chapter 2, Season 2. But sadly, in Season 7, we would see Zayt depart from the game. Until this day, nobody really knows what he's up to. So that leaves Saf. He would continue to play for a little bit after Zayt left, getting some decent placements.
Me and him actually won the Winter Invitational, and we got first place in that. It was like a pro plus content creator tournaments,
but would ultimately also quit back in Chapter 3, Season 2. However, they both managed to earn themselves over $1.2 million in their time playing. So overall, there have been 16 players to become millionaires from Fortnite tournaments, with 7 of those 16 quitting the game. And currently, the closest player to hitting that $1 million earned and is still active is one of the best players in the game currently, Queasy, with 900 grand earned so far. So in the upcoming years, it'll be exciting to see who will make this list.
It's going to be a lot harder for people to become millionaires now in Fortnite because the prize pool is just not as huge. You'd have to win like the really big like global invitationals. But this was a really well done video from ASFN. Definitely go subscribe to his channel, show him some love, tell him I sent you. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you guys next time.